Hi, I'm Kyle.
I'm Josh.
This is Two Guys, One Car.
Welcome to our car.
Dude, it starts with Two Guys, One Car. That's the name. It should start
It's
with
welcome to our car.
No, but it has to start with Two Guys, One Car because that's the name of the thing.
Just get in the back seat.
Ride along with us.
Good on him, mate. He's building. It's going great at the moment. So yeah.
So how did you get into the DJ scene? Because I remember when I first met you, the first thing you mentioned was like when you were 15 or so, you went to America for music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to give us the context?
Yeah, 100%. So I actually played guitar my whole life because my dad, he used to dabble. And then it turned out when I sort of hyperfixate into things. So once my dad showed me that, it was like 6 years of me just like ripping into the guitar.
Yeah.
And it's actually just in St. Leonard's, it's called Big Music. They did a program there where a lot of kids could go in there and it wasn't just one band playing a five. They had like 20 of us and we all swap. So we're putting on a whole show. And they trained us up and we had to do auditions and stuff. And I didn't realize that everyone sort of just went into the audition. I thought they practiced so I practiced for like a month.
Yeah.
I had like, I came in there, I'm like, I'm not fucking this up with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
Right? So I went in there, that's what happened. And ended up getting to go on this tour to America. We did 12 states. We played Summerfest Milwaukee, one of the biggest music festivals in the world with like David Bowie's guitarist and Pink's bass guitarist, Eva Gardner.
Jeez.
And I mean, we were just little kids. We didn't have
How old were you?
massive 15.
Damn.
15, so it was a big, you don't appreciate it at the time, but every like glimpse I can look back at now is a blessing.
Yeah.
Absolute blessing. But what an experience.
Yeah. What is that like? Like being 15, like do your parents go with you?
No, they don't come. So it's almost like a school tour, but like they're not even teachers.
Wow.
So it's sort of like a whole trust thing, I guess. But it went amazing, and I'm pretty sure they're still doing it now.
And at that point, are you thinking, cool, I'm going to be a guitarist 100%. For my life?
100%. You don't talk about anything else while you're there.
Yeah.
And everyone there's a muso. So you get really into it and you start meeting people and I think that's the first time I could say I was like gone somewhere to try and network.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like you don't do that at that age. You don't care.
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
You don't even know you almost don't know what networking is.
No, exactly. You don't see the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
So that was super cool.
And then where did the transition come from, okay, like I'm not going to be a guitarist, I'm going to pursue DJing?
Well, it's actually a weird story. So I go to UTS, I'm finishing up this year, and I had a friend and they took me in, I didn't even know UTS did music or did like music production. They have a whole building just full of all the dream gear I've always wanted. So I had no idea the whole time. And I walk in there with a friend and I full shed a tear.
Wow. Holy shit.
I couldn't believe it. Like I'm not even emotional with that shit, but I walk in and I see it, I go, no one told me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How did you know how I was going to figure it out?
It was like pain.
Yeah, I kind of walked in, I'm like, sick.
Yeah.
Found this one out on my own.
Yeah.
And just then I started realizing, so after them realizing how much music is actually on a computer now, not just an instrument, like I almost feel like if you want to be a professional musician now, cool, you got to get that down, but once you're done, you have to move to a laptop.
Wow.
Like it is so, you can get every bongo from the world sampled on a laptop. So why would you like record it? Do you know what I mean? So they've kind of made it like that now. And they've kind of made music now, you can almost draw the sound. So it's getting into that, but I figured that out when I was a bit later than some of the people, so about 19, 20.
Yeah.
And then really got into it, but I've caught up. So we've come back now, and I'm producing with some people from Sony and stuff at the moment.
Wow.
Using the guitar connections and trying to get them to, I'm trying to switch it over because I haven't got that DJ side. And we're just trying to make it meet in the middle, but it's coming together this year. We're maturing. We're maturing in the industry.
So is the act? Is it you or is it you and your?
So it's me, but we do Adam and Eve back to back.
I love that name. Because I was going to ask you, I was like, is that you? Because I couldn't figure out who you were on the set list. That I was like,
yeah. So we had a mate.
Like your name's Michael. Where's Michael?
So awesome. No, we had a mate get in the car once before we were even dating. He was just trying to be an asshole and sort of like, I'm just, you guys are Adam and Eve. And I was like, you know what? That's actually sick. And he's still asking me for royalties. He sends me little messages.
He's not your mate anymore.
Yeah.
You blocked him on everything.
That's like, what royalties?
I don't remember
This is
what
my
conversation.
idea.
Yeah.
I've never met you before.
Damn.
So how's like having, because you said like basically every sound is now on a laptop.
Yeah.
What's it like having the accessibility to pretty much every sound? Because I imagine just having one instrument, like learning that and mastering that would almost be easier knowing like that's all you have.
Yeah.
But now for you, it's like you have access to
The world's your
everything.
oyster.
100%. It's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I honestly, you can watch every YouTube video, you can watch this, but you don't know if that guy's telling you the path that's going to be good, that guy. And then you realize it's just your own time you put in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know one producer that will produce the same. One guy will make the beat first. One guy will sample some weird cricket sound first, you know, but it depends on how you work. And I feel like I have a bit of an ADHD personality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go on there, and the way I found with it, like the world is the oyster, is you go in there, I'll get stuck on one chain for a day. You get stuck and then come back and be like, shit, I never even got to because I got so distracted this way.
Yeah.
So it's also like trying to focus it in, and that's why I find it really good why you have to work with other people.
Okay.
You know, because they want to do this part.
Yeah.
And
So
then it
it's a
comes
way you
together.
sort of combat that.
100%.
Yeah, is
And
working with others. What does
for
that look
sure.
like? Like for you working with others? Are you talking about in producing?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's almost like you kind of have to be into producing to find it fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're like, why am I in this room for 8 hours straight, where we haven't checked the time? If that makes sense. I couldn't bring someone with me. They wouldn't want to see anything. We're clicking the cowbell sounds for like an hour, you know, just to get but it works out. And when it comes together, it's such an amazing thing having a piece together, and especially me being able to put other instruments in without even knowing them. I feel like it's such a cool system. Yeah.
It's ultimate creativity, and like to your point, it can probably be quite overwhelming.
100%.
Like for sure, like having that all there. Do you have like a certain style, or what do you try and put out at the moment?
That's my problem. I started with guitar and then going to DJing. So I'll make a lo-fi track with some beautiful jazz chords, and then I'll be making like a hard breakbeat track for like, you know, for like Civic Underground for the next week. So just meeting in the middle there, but whatever's, I just like putting music out.
That's so sick. Yeah, and so on that, is it people enjoying your music, or you producing and creating something that you like that appeals to you more?
I feel like you always start trying to please.
Yeah.
Like anything almost, even like starting a new job. You start it, you're trying to please everyone, and then you find yourself and you know what you're doing. So I feel like I've only got into the stage maybe even like a month ago, where I'm like, I know I can make what I want, and then I'll see who likes it, because that's the crowd. You know, instead
So you're at a point now where you feel like you could create an audience rather
yeah,
than just
and
catering
I feel
for
like
one.
the people who want niche things in the music industry, if you make something else, it almost turns them off. They want to be able to say, I really like this niche part of music. This guy knows how to do it, and that's the crowd I want. So I know that you have to stick to that almost. You want to be a purist.
100%. And initially the sacrifice might be the quantity, but the quality is always going to be better when it's like there's the hardcores that love what you create.
I always find that hard. Like that would be difficult when it's art, especially if you're trying to
100%.
like you speaking to the hours you put in the studio. It'd be so hard to just be like, I've actually come away with like nothing tangible, but somehow so much, like after 8 hours, and you just don't like the fact that you don't look at the time and stuff like that. Do you feel like you feel those deadlines?
Sort of. The funny thing about it is though, you'll spend 6 hours in there out of the 8. Let's say it's 8. You'll spend 6 hours in there, delete that one, and then that knowledge you got, you can pump it out in 2 hours.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? So then it's done. So it's like, I feel like that always happens. You go through the whole thing and then delete it. And then you go move over,
Yeah, do you struggle with the perfectionism loop at all, where
100%.
you're like creating something and you don't love it that much, and it's like, what do I do? Do I keep going at it, or do I put this out and see how I go?
So actually that's an awesome question, because that's why my stuff's not on Spotify yet. Because I'm so perfectionist with it, and I feel like it's taking other people to realize if I just send it out when I'm happy with it, I get that feedback straight away, and I'm happy, they're happy, and I can see that.
And so much more will come from it. One of my mates, is a musician, and I think, don't quote me on this exactly, but I'm pretty sure he was very similar like that. Wasn't putting really anything out, and then either a friend challenged him or he just decided to make and put out like 100 songs a day, like for 100 consecutive days, and he did that. And whilst doing that, he like was practicing music so much more, so his voice got so much better at singing. He built like a really good online following, and he just like found his flavor and what he really likes, and just so much positive came from that, just by exposing himself and not trying to create something that's perfect, because like we can't, especially when it comes to art, because it's so subjective. Like what you create now, you might love it, in 5 years you might hate it, or you might hate something now but in 5 years love that piece of music again. It's so subjective to how you are right now.
100%. And the other thing I realize is that that thing I'm listening to that I'm like, that is not it. There's no one else that can hear that. Like there is no, like and the one guy that does, he knows why you did it. If he can hear it, he knows exactly what happened. He doesn't care. So it's also remembering that like,
not everyone's a DJ listening to.
Yeah, no one's even like, no one cares about the cowbell coming in like a little.
And no one cares that much.
No, that's not the point.
Because it's not theirs.
Yeah,
it's
the way they consume it isn't in the producing format. The producing format's looking at everything under a microscope to the T, but the consumption is usually mixed with like alcohol and party noise environment.
100%.
Like no one's even like, oh, what was that little like fade in?
There's not a chance. There's not a chance.
Well, hold on.
Wait, that eighth of a second that you held that note for, like, no.
I know it's bad, but yeah, it's funny how long it can take someone who like feels like they're mature to do something so simple like that. But yeah.
Do you feel like that? So you're talking about the perfectionism. Did you have that before DJing, or do you think it developed in that?
Yeah, I think I had that before DJing. I feel like that's just a bit of my personality. I've just always, and I feel like my parents have always pushed me so hard, that's something that I've always tried to achieve. Because you can. I mean, seriously, like if you put the time into something, you can.
Do you see that as an asset?
I hope so. I do hope so. I see it as an asset, but I also see it as like, I know heaps of people who can do it, and I know a lot of people that just don't. You know what I mean? I know they just don't do it, but they'll sit there and like blame the world for all the reasons. I think it's differentiating between those people, and if I can hang out with people with that same thing, it's not even then it's an asset. That's what, for sure. That's what I think.
What do you see like I guess your environment, immediate environment as like a DJ is? Like what is that?
Very interesting.
Like? I feel like you meet so many different characters.
I'll be honest with you, what an industry. Oh my God. And Sydney, super exclusive. Like in America, because I'm Vancouver, I'm from Vancouver.
Really?
I wasn't born there, but my dad's whole family's over there, so I'm there every 2 years.
Wow.
You go there and mention music, 10 guys, they're like, they're done. Tomorrow, we'll record it, they don't care if you shit or not.
Wow. Whoa.
Australia, you've got to know this guy, that guy, have the gold pass.
Fuck.
And like so it's super exclusive here.
So most of your time isn't perfecting your sound.
Just trying to get into the room.
That's the thing. And it's so like, and you get so caught up in trying to network and realizing that social media is actually what's driving this industry right now. Where it's like, I'm someone who would sit in a room and make songs all week. Why haven't I? Like, is what I ask, and it's because I have to go do that other thing. But that's how it rolls.
Yeah, you have to go to this guy's event to meet this person who's going to help you later down the line.
And yeah, because otherwise you're like almost, you can just, if you stop going to it, you just become the nobody.
Yeah, you become irrelevant so quickly because someone else will jump in and replace you.
So quick, fresh stuff, new stuff, meeting new people, and but I feel like once you get to a certain place and you know this guy, that guy, I've been seeing it become easier.
For sure.
So how do you find your friendships are? Because by the sounds of it, there's a strong amount of quantity. You must meet so many people, but do you have like your core group of friends or?
100%. Recently, I've been going for quality over quantity. You know, I feel like we're all just getting a little bit more mature now, where we can figure that out. Definitely. And also remembering how important like other things like work and family time and all that is. I've been sort of slotting in friends right now that I do see the quality in, which is really good. And then almost having just a networking conversation with the quantity.
So yeah, very business direct.
It's super business direct.
Like be lifelong friends with
Yeah,
you, just here to get what I need.
And we'll say a couple of personal things, this and that, but we both usually both of the people in the convo know what's going on.
Which is great.
Yeah, which makes it cut to the point.
So healthy.
Where are we going to benefit each other, and why do we think each other's works, and move on, and we know each other now.
Is that core group, are they involved in DJing at all?
You know what? They've come around.
Yeah.
They've come around.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of friends that are DJs
Yeah.
or at home DJs, or everyone sort of gets into it. But as I said again in Sydney, you could be playing an event that is means the world to you, and you need everyone there, but they're not going to come until it's that big poster day.
Yeah.
But it's also not an I told you so when you get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's more of okay, we're here now. Let's progress from forward here.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, because I know a lot of people that are like, oh no, you guys didn't come to the bar, but everyone's
Everyone's got their own thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So finding the medium
Yeah.
between
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess it is it's a demanding sort of lifestyle for you in terms of DJing. Like a lot of events are like night based, which is like late hours, late nights, and kind of just changes. You almost have to create your lifestyle to really be orientated around DJing and performing, right?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And you do have to change your lifestyle a little bit. I think that's where the parents start to get involved, because if you want to be good, you kind of start younger. Like a lot of them start maybe 18, and then you are going to and they know, because our parents grew up knowing the DJs. They knew a DJ, and they knew what they did, so they probably assume a certain lifestyle for someone. No matter what you're doing, they're going to assume so. And if you can get that across to your parents, that you did just go have a drink and try and you got to show them that it's your art. You actually care. Like, I don't drink. I don't do anything when I go to DJ, because I care about what music is coming out. It's important to me. Like, I want people to be like, hear my best. Where I know some people, they have 10 drinks and they run around and they're like, oh, I was drunk. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's like almost compared to an athlete. Like, you're not going to run out on the field like off your head. You're going to be like in the best state of mind you could possibly be.
It's your craft, man. You got to see it as and if you're trying to be the best, it's like you versus you on after 6 drinks. Who's going to be their best?
Exactly that.
You
Exactly
without
that.
any drinks. Though.
And figuring that out pretty early was awesome.
Yeah, wow.
Especially the Greek parents, they help you figure that out really quickly, which is good.
And you'd I guess you'd be thankful for that, hey?
No, 100%, 100%. Never not in the moment. Sometimes you're not thankful, but always thankful for it.
And are you thankful for the pressure? Because you said from quite an early age there was quite a bit of pressure on you.
For sure. Like, I feel like I would have complained about it back then, not even understanding why I had to go work more hours or why I had to do this and that, but no regrets with that at all. Yeah.
It's always how it goes.
It's always. It's always like that.
Yeah, and when you're a kid, you just don't get it.
Yeah.
You just don't get it.
So unbelievable.
It's like, and for us, we both started working young. And I remember my mom being like, you have to get a job at 14. You're not getting a job.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, all my friends are going on the beach. Why do I have to go work?
I know, it didn't make any sense. And now I'm looking back to my mates that were at the beach, and they're like, oh, I wish I worked. I'm like, well,
and part of it's like, I need to surrender the fact that I have no control over that. You know what I mean? Like, that's our parents.
There's such an element of you need, and I think for parents it's so important to get across the idea that they are in charge.
100%.
And I think,
Is that his spot?
I don't know, we'll see.
Shit.
We could just reverse to that one if need be.
I'll get it. The cameras again.
Yeah, dude. Hey. Do you know who this is?
Sorry.
He's saying,
Oh, dude,
I think I'm gonna. I think
you're
he
leaving.
wants me to go.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you move.
Yeah. All right.
Pod on the road.
We've got this podcast on the go.
Right.
Car.
We're back.
Yeah, back into it, eh?
What was I saying? I was talking about parents. It's so important for parents to get across the idea of discipline early on, and that I think the child needs to accept that I don't have control yet. There will come a day when I can make my own decisions, but right now this isn't it, and I just need to do what they say.
100%.
And I'm so grateful for, by the sounds of your upbringing, and I know yours, we all shared that commonality where it was like the parents laid down the law.
What was the relationship like with your parents when you were younger?
Super good. And the thing you just keep making me think about is, because I only moved out the end of last year, and I just can't believe that you can go from still going home to your parents, being like, why are you texting me when I'm out? Or like, why are you asking me where I am? You know where I am. Saying things like that to moving out, and then I feel like I'm the one texting him now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because now I'm like, you push them right to their limits, right? At the age that we are, at 18, 19, 20, 21, we don't even realize how stressful we can be to, and then you move out and you're like, oh my God, my parents are humans.
Yeah.
Like they have no idea how to raise a kid when it started. They're just going like, my dad has probably got it, my mum like, well, we're going to figure this one out. Yeah. You know, like I only started thinking, like I know people that I can see them, they don't think about it yet.
No, 100%. You have the realization because growing up, you truly see them as your heroes and you think they have it all figured out. They have the blueprint. They know exactly how to do it. And you're like, dude, they have no idea. Yeah, they've just been winging it for 50 years and they've made it work.
Exactly. And instead of ripping into them for winging it the wrong way, because I feel like kids love that. They'll just bring up something their parents stuffed up. They'll be like, but why'd you do that? Or no, you can't tell me to do that. You do that. Or, you know, and that dynamic going out the window is so...
It's just so important to know everyone's just trying to do their best. No one's perfect. We're all just trying to make it work, and that's what it is.
It's hard to see your parents' intent when they're your parent.
Yeah.
Like, it's like their intent is obviously to, like, you just, like you said, you lose track of the fact that they're raising a human being into the world.
Actually,
and all they do day to day is sacrifice for you. Like they sacrifice time and effort to put into you.
Yeah.
And for them to do that and us not even clock it, it's just like...
Not even at all clock it.
Yeah. And then once you do, you start to think like, wow, like as in they've done this for 20 odd years. Like that's insane.
I know, you like the big word for me was like the appreciation.
Yeah.
Like I've got every time of the day now with like, you know what I mean? Like to listen to anything, to have a conversation. And if they're telling me, oh, that's not right, now it's like okay, let's work on it and fix it.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm still getting used to it. Still getting used to it.
Gratitude we have for having such a good upbringing, but then you look at people that have terrible upbringings, and that's a whole different dynamic where it's also like, well, how mad can you get? Because those people might have just trying to do their best as well, but like their life circumstances resulted in them being like shitty parents. It's such an interesting dynamic parenting.
100%.
Yeah, and as time goes on, like you become your parents' carer.
Yep.
As in, as they get older, and you can feel like day to day.
I'm getting the calls to come mow the lawn already, and I got my own lawn to mow now. So,
like as it goes on, and they become like, it's beautiful. Like the parent, like the child becomes the parent. Like as you go further on.
Yep.
And just like to see you then, as we go into like, how old are you? 21?
22, just turned 22.
We're turning 23 this year. Yeah. I forgot how old I was for a
I
sec.
know,
Yeah. So we're literally at the exact same stage of like, now it's like in the next 10 to 15 years, we'll start to see all the little things our parents do. Like even now I clock all these little things that I don't even know. And I'm like, I'm putting that in the back pocket for when I have a kid.
100%. And you start to realize as well that the funniest one for me is that when you start looking at your aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
Like I've been noticing my auntie, she drinks a lot of champagne.
Yeah.
Starting to realize, I'm like, was she drunk at every family event? That's what I'm looking back at now. Like, was she?
You don't know it as a kid. But now as an adult, you're like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just go and get blind.
And you start to think of it. Yeah. What were your parents like in terms of the DJing scene? Well, they obviously pushed you in terms of the music stuff.
Yeah, that's why this one's a funny one for me.
Yeah.
Because my parents are the most supportive people. They've been behind me for everything I do. Yeah. They've even probably been the start of the reason I did everything, to be honest. Yeah. And DJing one, I go up to my mum, right? And she goes, what do you want for your 19th birthday? I think she was asking me. I go, oh, like I'd love to get some DJ decks. She goes, are you 15? Wow. And I was like, and at the time, I took that as so personal.
Yeah. How did that feel for you?
3 years later, when I see the DJ scene, I'm understanding why my mum said it.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about me DJing. She loves that I DJ. Yeah. She loves to tell her friends that I DJ. She has DJ friends from back in the day. She knows the scene. So she hears that word, she's like, nope.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. Like, shut it down.
No.
Which is tough to bounce back from for you, because at the time you hear the no and it's like my mum won't let me do the thing I really want to do.
Yeah.
Like you don't see it for what.
Unfortunately for them though, I am that guy that's like, if I get told no, we're going.
Yeah.
So
you just get it.
I went and got some from my friend after that, snuck it in the room, you know, and I'm like, keep going, and then I eased it off with them.
Yeah.
Same as like I usually wear an earring. That one took a year to ease off.
Yeah.
So every for like 7 minutes in the day you wear it, and then the next
7
day
minutes,
it's
put
8
it back.
minutes.
8 minutes,
Yeah, put it back in.
Slowly breed it in.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so good. So, and now where are they at with it? Like complete support and love what you do.
Complete support, because now they know I'm legit.
Yeah,
They know that I'm going for the music. I'm not just going for the party, because
that's cool.
it starts with the party, because you don't have the talent, so you've got to be all the talk.
Yeah,
You know, that's like the fake it till you make it part of it.
Mm.
Now I've got the talent to back it. Like I'm happy to say that I can go and play anywhere, play any genre, and just be happy with it.
Fuck yeah.
And I feel like they know that now. They see that passion from the music side,
Yeah, wow.
and now they're willing to get behind it. So it was
beautiful.
it was more them trying to make sure that it doesn't go, because it's very easy.
Oh, 100%.
It's very easy to go.
And there'd probably be so many people that do.
They do.
And they don't even think they are,
Yes.
which is the biggest part,
And then
because
they
they're
get-
like, this is my career.
And then it's almost they get to a point where it's like, damn, I haven't touched a set of decks in months. All I've been doing is
Yep.
going to events like
Yep.
week in, week out, and look at me now.
Yeah, and you get the set, and then you don't even know what the new music is.
Because you haven't put the reps in.
No, you haven't put the
Yeah.
reps in. So it's like meeting that, yeah,
There is so many vices knocking on your door when you're a DJ.
100%.
I can imagine that.
100%.
Like, and you're around it constantly.
For sure. And the other thing is, even it's such like an alpha situation with the gear you have.
Ah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the gear's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Like the top of the line ones are like 15 grand. Like who's pulling? The Ivy doesn't even have them. And I know a guy at home DJ who's got them.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? And they go around and they're like one-upping each other with the.
Yeah,
But that's how it is, because there's so many. I call it the subgenres.
Yeah.
Right? It's probably like 700 of the things, more, right? And I can name a DJ, they've got one extra little thing for each of their subgenres, because they're like, oh, I do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. It's cool how everyone has their the vinyl guy and the CDJ guy, and it's super cool.
That's sick.
Yeah. So what's the ratio for you of like in the studio producing to actually like playing and performing?
Okay, so I love the music so much that I'm happy to play for like 4 or 5 hours somewhere. So like,
A long time.
I know,
Solid, man.
because that's a journey, you know?
Did you have a Camelback with you?
Dude, I wish. No, they bring you drink. No. I should get a Camelback. I'm actually not even joking. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Done.
But it's like, some people complain about that, but you do a 4 or 5 hour set, I can start with my worst song and not care.
Yeah, because you're like, I got 5 hours.
dude,
to
I'm
do.
playing all of them.
Yeah.
You're going to hear every one of my
You're in the whole
songs.
catalog.
And that to me, the first time I got to do, like, I think it was 3 hours, 45 minutes, something like that. I explored I came up with my USB. I'm like, this is my brain. I know this inside out now.
It's cool because you see what hits with the crowd as well.
Yeah.
Like what do people like?
And that's the thing, being able to not get saturated in just downloading all this music, because you need to be able to read some letters and imagine an experience.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that is, sometimes that's not, and I know you get to listen to it before you play it,
Yes.
but it's like 400 songs on there, you're going through and picking it, but that's why the niche is important, because you don't have to fully even crowd read. You go in there and you play what you know is the best, and they're going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel like over fame and being seen, that's what I strive for,
Yeah, wow.
is having those people who appreciate it, knowing that I'm doing that for them.
That's a solid headspace to be in.
Like that, yeah.
Because I can imagine what it would look like to not, like,
Yeah.
just try and crowd please.
You can't not sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
It's an element of it.
I think about it all the time. I slip, even one song I'll slip, and I'm like, why did I do that? If I just persevered through trying not to people please there.
Which is so sick that you have that conviction and that you strive to not fall into that.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people do. Like, I know, not that I know that many DJs, but I've known like people that like started DJing in high school or whatever. And I feel like a lot of them just started doing it because it was the cool thing to do. And that just speaks to like wanting validation, wanting to crowd please.
100%.
But the fact that you can pick up when you've played a song purely for the intent of crowd pleasing, you've been like, dude, what am I doing?
Yep.
This is not who we are.
Yeah, it's also
Back on
the
track.
fact that you play into it, like as in like you're looking for it. Like, am I crowd pleasing?
Yes.
Like that's
That's
probably the
the-
question
awesome.
you ask,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a big deal. You know?
It is. It actually, it genuinely is, because and then that's the thing though. You get to the point where you realize that's what make or breaks the sick DJs.
Yeah.
Like the ones that did get that extra credit, it's because the people could say they're not going to play the song because it's the most popular. They don't care, and that's that exclusivity thing. I'm trying to that I've been exploring in Sydney, where it's like you stick to your guns on your niche, they'll see you.
Yeah.
They'll see you. Cause
Yeah, it
every
might
time
take a bit longer, it might be a bit harder, but
Yeah.
it's going to pay off.
Yeah, you're in for the long haul.
Well, what happens if you people please and then now you're stuck playing TikTok covers?
Yeah.
And that's not even what you DJ,
Yeah.
but that's your crowd now. It's like you can't just change that.
Oh yeah.
You can, but good luck. Like you just
Yeah,
created
it's
this
tough.
whole brand, and now you got to.
Rechange.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not playing what you want to play. You're just playing what they want. Where's the fun in that?
It's not. It's not. It's not the same at all.
Yeah.
And then that's going to show as well, because your energy up there is going to be way less. Whereas if you're actually playing something you've created and you love and you have that burning desire, people see that and they're like, dude, this
100%.
guy loves it.
Yeah.
This guy
I
loves
feel like that's cooler than being. I know the words to this Diana Ross cover.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like they care about that more.
Dude, if I went and saw someone set for 3 hours, I do not want the most popular song.
No.
I want to see this guy. Like I'm here to watch
Yeah.
this guy perform for me. Like, that's what I want.
100%. And you know what? On that topic, this one took me a while to get my head around, because I'm very like this with things. I want to know why,
Yeah.
and that's like I really want to know why. I don't know what. That's just what happens. I just need to know why.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to figure out is why no one actually, like, people don't really text you genres if they're hiring you as a DJ.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They don't, like, I feel like if you're a DJ in the scene and you know your niche, you almost go like, you'll text them and go, I'll play like this kind of vibe set
Oh, okay.
is where it's going now. It's not like I'm going to play tech house.
Yeah.
Because what I realized is DJing's not genre when you get to a stage. This one took me a while.
Yeah.
I realized it's not genre. I'm realizing that it's almost what, it doesn't matter what song you play.
Mhm.
I realized I can play my favorite rap song in the middle of my techno set.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't think I could do that. I thought that was cinder pond because of the whole subgenre niche thing. But it's the body moving grooves. Like that is DJing.
Yeah.
What's gonna make their bodies move and keep their interest.
Yeah.
It's not. So now I go in there and I play like an underground UK rap song. It's completely half the speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not house at all. It's not techno at all. And then I'll start with a lo-fi song, like you know what I mean? Like a jazzy, and it's building up, and using that. So I feel like that diversity and like just mixing them. I'm playing it for the sounds, not for the genre,
Yeah.
not for the people please, not for that. I feel like sticking to that. That's the go.
Which then goes back into you playing for you. Like
Yeah.
that's sort of a rhythm journey you want to follow.
Yeah.
I love the concept that you had of the journey, like over 3-4 hours.
It's almost a story
Yeah.
more than just individual songs.
What's the contrast between like one of those sets
Yep.
and like I don't know, what's a short set, like 30 to an hour?
Multiple peaks in the long one.
Oh, okay.
So that was.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A 1 hour
you-
set is a complete gradient.
To the end, and then
And
it's
boom.
and then it's done.
Because you don't want to, you're only here for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish hard and strong. Next guy's coming on and he's supposed to be more gradient.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a whole mountain and never stops.
Yeah.
Where if you're playing somewhere a 3-4 hour set, I'm building up and oh, nope,
Yeah.
we have time. I can come back so that
Sick.
you can get excited again. You know, and a lot of DJs hit the gradient too quick and you scare them away.
Yeah.
Because you get into it, everyone's getting into it, and then it's like, okay,
What now?
yeah, like what's going to be more exciting than this? Nothing.
Yeah, you're like fucking with their anticipation. Like,
Yeah.
You want, you want to hold
So there is
them.
like really is a manipulative crowd control aspect to it, where it's
100%.
you're taking them on this journey. It's like strap in.
Yeah, well, and like, and then that's when I say to people, what's the timing of the songs? BPM, beats per minute.
Yeah.
What's our heart rate go to?
Yeah.
You know, like I swear to God, that's how quick your heart rate's moving.
It's the correlation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That'd be interesting. Have you ever like hooked yourself up to a heart rate monitor
Bro, you should
for
do
a
this
set?
fucking-
Well,
a
it's
Garmin
almost
strap.
close.
Yeah.
Whoa.
If you're sober, it's close.
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, but it's close.
But if you're playing a 140 BPM
Yeah.
and you're just casually going along with it, you're going to be around there.
Dude, just getting some
You're
aerobic
gonna be around
exercise
there.
going.
Dude, legit.
For sure.
That's so
Bro, you
sick.
probably have like proper like endurance workouts.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if
Yeah.
you're sitting at 150 plus for like
Well,
24 hours,
150, I don't know what's going on if you get up to 150. It definitely happens. But like, yeah, like, and then it's super interesting. You go play 70 BPM and it's still a higher heart rate because they're dancing double the time.
Yes.
I mean, it
So
makes
you gotta-
sense, like the beats and the rhythms, the vibrations.
Yeah.
I just
all-
never thought that would
Yeah,
correlate to
me
heart
too.
rate.
Well, and then as a younger, like when I was a bit younger in the scene, I would go in and think that fast is better.
Yeah, just 180.
Yeah, like, and I still have friends that do it, and I'm telling them, oh, that's slow, and they're like, no, and they don't. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm realizing, lay down the groove and stay slow, because then everyone's welcome.
And it's more
Yeah.
sustainable. It's like
Yeah.
if you go off a heart rate metric, it's more sustainable to stay at a lower heart rate for longer versus a higher one. Like you can only sit in that anaerobic threshold for X
Yeah,
amount of
for
time
so
before you
long.
burn out,
Yep.
which would make sense for those longer sets. You want to take them and gradually
For
build it.
example, like Sash, that's why they can go till breakfast. They don't go over 130.
Ah, there you go.
They sit. I reckon they're even slower than 127 sometimes, you know. But they're
Alright.
pumping around there,
Yeah.
and that's the endurance.
Yeah.
Like
It's the endurance.
Dude, this
yeah.
is
you can listen to
You've
it.
blown my mind with this.
Yeah.
I never considered that.
Yeah.
It's super correlate. Yeah,
It's
it
a real
correlates.
element of trust that the crowd audience gives you. Like,
100%. Yeah.
and I feel like the way you speak of it is like, you're like, no, like, take my hand. I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. I got you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had that from the start, or you?
God
definitely built
no,
into that?
God no. You think it's one thing and then it's not, and then you think
Yeah.
it's one thing and it's not, and then it depends how you play. It all different, and I feel like it's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
And now I can see why some of the most famous DJs in the world, they're actually quite old,
Yeah.
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 because they've actually they're perfecting
It takes
it.
Yeah.
20, 30 years.
It actually took that long.
Yeah.
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 To be able to every week get that new
Put the
music
reps in.
going, put the reps in, to do and stay in such an industry that isn't an endurance industry.
Yeah. No.
Like that's such
Yeah,
a
because it's
big-
always the next thing.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
and then you look at him like a guy like Carl Cox.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? You look at him and you're like, you're a warrior, man. You're a warrior.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's super cool.
Do you like? This is a scary question, but like, is that where you see yourself?
That's where I want to see myself. My dream, I would drop everything right now and become a musician.
Yeah.
Because if I did so, I know I would go well because I wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's nothing that's going to knock me down to be like,
figure it out.
I'm going to just keep going because it's music. I like it. So
it's not like you're like, oh, I would do it for this long because I need to make it by a certain
Yeah, I
point. You're
don't-
like, I fucking love this.
I love it. I'm going
I
to make it
will just
anyways.
go until I die, and if I didn't get anywhere, I wouldn't
Yeah.
care because I'd be doing what I love.
And you got somewhere because you did what you love your whole life.
Exactly.
And I want to know why. So a lot of the time I hear a song, I want to know why it sounds like that. Just for me.
Yeah.
No one's going to ever do that. But the other thing is, unfortunately, in Australia, music industry, money, they're not on par.
Yeah.
Like it's either you make no money or you make all the money.
Okay.
Okay.
So
It's
really,
very you skip. You go
what
from one to the other.
Is it like you got to move overseas, play in Europe, America?
You can do that, or you can push here, and you can definitely do it here, 100%. It's not going to be the same, but sometimes it's nicer to do it in your home country. You know,
For sure.
you know where you're at. You get the proper credit for it almost.
Yeah.
You know, you can still like. I think it's nice to just persevere in your own country, but I understand why I go overseas, of course.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But like, I've started to realize now that as much as I want it to be a career, if I actually do want it to be a career, I'm going to stick with my other side of my life, my professional life, to fund it, to keep it going. Because moderation, like we're getting to that age now where we can do moderation.
Yeah.
We're getting better. 2 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like now I can say that I can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that's my whole goal for this year is keep moderation. Like I want to be a professional and then I can go have a dance on the weekend and it's not going to affect me. It's going to be, do you know what I mean? It's not going to be this whole thing where I have to do one or the other because they're so extreme.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I've been in hospitality for 10 years, so I want to work in that industry. I want to do things there. I work in sales and stuff, you know, like get that done to fund it,
Yeah.
you know?
Sure.
And then I feel like once you've got the gear, once you've got all of the things supporting you, you can open an events company. Or you can just go, we'll host the things down here, we'll invite all these people and I'll make my networks. Do you know what I mean? And not just money, but you know what I mean? It's such a powerful thing that instead of running myself through the ropes because I want it now, because I want to be something now, I'm just trying to tell myself, just keep it, you're like...
Be disciplined and don't peak too early. I think too many people peak too early. Like you look at the guys in high school that peak and like look at what they're doing now. Like just keep on the trajectory you're going and you'll peak at the right age.
Yeah, I like the holistic approach from you, as in like you want everything to be right. And you're speaking of family and stuff like that, you love that. It's like, do you ever see yourself having a family yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I can't see not, you know, because I know I'm going to get to that stage where it's like, I'm ready to just listen to this little baby cry. And like, you know what I mean? Or listen to this.
Turn that into a beat.
Yeah. And,
You just fucking
that's
do
great.
that.
One more
Just
time.
set out.
And then like, yeah, just passing it on. And come on, like if our parents did it, we can do it.
Of course.
And we've got them to help us, you know, and then if we turn 45 and we haven't had a kid yet, then we're probably going to be annoyed about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that I feel like it's 100% something I will do.
You don't want to regret it.
Yeah, no.
How important are the reps in terms of playing consistently for you and your skills? Like, do you need to be playing every weekend or every couple weeks to ensure that you've still like got it in that sense?
I'm a weird one in the scene because I'm a guitarist.
Yeah.
So I've got this whole different way that I look at it. Like my girlfriend, when she's DJing with me, I'm trying to tell her something and she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I know this whole, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'll be like, oh, flick up the open high. And she's like, what are you talking about? But I think of it so band-like.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think about it like DJing.
Yeah.
Like, I have some friends that are sickest DJs, but I know they're thinking about it like how they used to dance on the D floor. That's why they can make everyone dance so well, because they've been training at and then they're like, oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
And they know the tunes because they've been there. They know what vibe you need to make. And now they've figured out how to do it. So they're making the dance where I'm sitting there picking the keys of my songs and like doing weird guitar shit. I'm doing weird guitar shit.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I get super carried away with the effects because the effects on a DJ board exactly the same as my guitar pedals.
Oh.
It's all of my guitar pedals in this awesome little digital thing.
Sick.
So I'm like but I get too carried away.
Yeah,
like sometimes I look up and I'm like, that guy, it's too experimental right now. It's just too.
This guy's dancing. He's confused.
He's like, is that it? Yeah. That's the only. But yeah, I look at it in such a systematic, like musical way.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, and I always think about guitar when I'm using it. Always.
Which is cool because it's probably a great niche for you to have. And I think over time, as you said, you'll develop that fan base. Does playing at different venues cater for different, like, do you need to change your style for, say, if you're playing at like a really, I don't know, I really don't know.
Are you saying in terms of like the logistics of the venue or just the actual vibe?
No, the vibe, like the sort of crowd that, say, like the place you're playing at tomorrow, the sort of crowd that attracts versus a crowd that another place attracts. Yeah. Do you have to change?
So you definitely have to change. And that's where you decipher yourself from being a normal DJ and a pro DJ. Because you are getting asked to play for what you play. They're not asking you to play and telling you what to play. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're actually hiring you because that's what you do. Yeah. When you get to that point, that's when you can feel super comfortable. And like me and Izzy are almost like on the cusp there. Yeah. We'll take a couple of gigs. Like the one we're doing on Sunday probably isn't my highest genre, but I'm going to play a version of my genre that suits it. Cool. I'm not just going to play theirs because I still want to keep that it's that purist sort of mentality with the music, you know? And then, I mean, I've been meeting people now and realizing that the industry's so purist that like that's why vinyl's coming back.
Yeah.
You know, like because that is so pure,
Yeah.
and the mixes they're using don't have effects.
Mm.
And I only actually found that out the other week. I thought more effects cool, like that shows that you're a really good.
Yeah, better technical.
Yeah,
skills.
that's what I thought. And I'm speaking to this like a guy, like one of my mates who's really good in the scene, and he's like, "No, man, I don't even have effects. Just bring your own." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, he goes to me, "Isn't that more gangster?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah, it
badass,
is.
yeah.
You just mixed it with nothing."
Yeah.
So it's so pure. And then bringing the vinyl element into there, and when it gets to the low part, you can hear in a club the crackle of the record. Come on.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Like, so someone who DJs comes in and sees that and they appreciate it. And I feel like that's how you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Art, dude, it's fucking art. That's the coolest thing I've always found about like hip hop. The sickest thing with hip hop is like originally like there was so much sampling of old blues, old like all soul music. Like it was like that was the art.
100%.
It's like because all those guys had the decks and they were like they're just siphoning through their parents' fucking soul collection.
It's exactly
And
that,
that's
though,
how
isn't
that
it?
began. Like that's how it all began.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome.
It's 100%.
That's the fun. That's what's fun. Like that's what's enticing to me about it. Is like, how did you find that sample? Like, where did you fucking go for that?
That's actually that'd be a funny question to ask someone.
Yeah.
Why did you?
Dude, so I was like, where's all your shit? I was like, where's your catalog? I was like, I want to look through stuff and ask you about where did you pull this from? But you don't have any of your stuff out.
No, I've got
So
some
it's like,
stuff.
dude, I would love to take some. Like,
I'll join this. Yeah, 100%.
dude, at the end, like, taking, like, I just want to like question you on it because it's so cool. Like,
No, 100%.
how people pull from different areas and like what path did you lead down to get to that sample?
Yep.
Like, where did that?
I actually have something that I see myself. I do a lot.
Yeah.
And when I hear my songs, I hear what sounds the same. I've gotten to a point now where I've hung out with musos so much that we had to get to a stage where we had to come up with words to describe sounds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know, like you could say it, but it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like a round. I'll talk to him and I'll be like, "Can you make the bass round?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll just do it. Like,
Yeah.
and I said it to someone else. Like, bro,
You're so in tune with sound.
what are you like? What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, right? And I'm like, just sharpen. Do you know what I mean? Like words that aren't actually, but they work.
Traditionally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that is, you start to. I feel like that's how you start to see your sound is when you say the words, because now I can like describe like all my basses and stuff are like really rounded. Like,
Yeah, like to me, I'm just like,
What the
I'm
fuck
trying.
are
I
you
know.
talking
I know. I kind of like it's like a softer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but we sort of find those words, and when what happens is then we're listening to samples, and you can use words to describe what you think would go with it instead of having to sit down and make it to understand.
So it's like usually the music transcends language.
Yeah,
it's
like we can
even
almost
higher than
talk about
language.
it before it.
Yeah, and you found a way to communicate your music.
Yeah, it's
through
pretty funny.
language.
It's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Like if so, I feel like I've had some people sitting on sessions before and they're laughing.
yeah.
We don't know what they're laughing. They're like, dude, move up like the XC45 to like. They're like, what are you?
What language are we?
Yeah,
What are we
it's
talking
super
about?
funny because and we're manipulating waveforms, right?
Yeah.
And filters, and then like there's the big one. She actually asked me the other day. She goes, "Why do you keep saying automation?" Right? And I'm like, it's what it is. Like all these words are actually super bait. Like you guys could guess. It is what you think it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no one wants to, like you don't actually know, so no one says.
Yeah.
But like automation is just like me saying what I want this sound to change from the start to finish, and it's auto.
Yeah.
It's automatically doing what I
Yeah,
asked. That's it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can do that for every effect, every volume, everything.
There's just so many things you
I mean,
can.
that's almost what a track is now. How well can you automate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
You know, instead of chopping everything, let me make it do it itself
Yeah.
and run this track and then permanently automate it in a record.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it evolving a lot, the world of DJing and the world of music?
Oh yeah. Ridiculous. Like
Like too quick.
so quick.
Yeah.
Like to the point where you can download, like there's these things called plugins, right? And you download them with your DAW, and it's like they're not only being developed every day, not only getting more sounds added, but like the sample thing I use, I'm pretty sure there's like 27 million sounds on there. Do you know what I
27
mean? Cool,
million.
there's searches and you can like,
But how far does that get you? There's 27.
yeah, and how much shit is there?
Yeah, dude.
That's the big one. It's not even, for me, it's not even how many, it's how many I click through. I'm like, who would use that? Who would use that? Who would use that?
The amount of combinations you could have of 27 million sounds.
And that's why people go, oh, isn't that sample? I've heard that sample before. Why is he using that? You hear people say that they get mad about it.
Why?
It's like, do you know how many sounds? There's not a chance that this is the same as anyone else's.
Yeah.
Do you know, there's 0% chance here.
Yeah.
Unless it's really simple.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, that's why I used to even be like, oh, I know that sample. This guy just ripped it off from but he's just made a whole new beat around it. He's made a whole new, it's his thing. It's his thing,
I
yeah.
love that about it. It's just the customization's just limitless.
Limitless.
For sure.
That's interesting. What do you think the difference is between the people that make it in DJing and the people that don't? Like, do you think there's anyone that really has the talent and the ability to produce great music but doesn't have the charisma and the personality to sell it to the audience?
You know what? It's a question I want to answer, right? But almost I'd be solving my life answering it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think I know, right? And I actually wouldn't even answer that because someone on this podcast listening is going to go, no, fuck no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the answer is individuality. And if it's going to happen, you're going to make it happen. Do you know what I mean? Like it's such a, like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different genres and millions of songs, right? If you want that, you can have that, right? Cool, getting to the place where you're making 10 million and you don't have to do it. Maybe not, right? Because this and this is holding you back, but you're going to have your strengths. You're going to have your weaknesses. And it's like, if you see it as important as almost as I see it, like in that thing, or if you find it important in a different way, I don't see why not. Do you know what I mean? I think it's if you get greedy, if you turn it into a money game, if you like, if it becomes a people-pleasing money game, that's the only time where you'll rise quicker than everyone, but you'll fall quicker.
Yeah.
Because you can't, in DJing, that's where the niche comes. You can't fake it to a certain point.
That's cool.
When you get your moment, you need to be able to shine because you don't know when the moment's coming.
That's cool because for some things you can fake it till you make it to a place and then it's like, okay, you're stuck with that, but you've made it.
Yes.
So that's interesting how it's like DJing is that honest that
because you don't know when the
get
moment.
thrown out.
you get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, you've done well to cover your tracks, but now it's like
And
you can't hide from anyone because now you're the guy.
There's no chance. You
Yeah.
can't hide. And cool, you fake it till you make it. You get a festival gig, right? If you're up there doing like some random thing or like it's really not on. Like as much as it doesn't really matter because everyone's dancing, but in the industry it's just not on.
And there's a huge networking aspect to like, if you get that opportunity and you blow it, like they're not going to have you back. People they know aren't going to have you. Like it really is, there's a massive reputation thing, I assume.
Like 100%. Like even I was sending a couple of my boys the DJ Sash. I was sending them a few tracks because they did their last gig because one of them's going to America.
Ah, cool.
And they played an awesome set and I was sending him a couple of tracks. I was like, play a couple of my tracks because they wanted to just play him. And he sends it back. He goes, dude, sick track. I absolutely love it. Right. And I've heard him spin it a bunch of times since then at different clubs. But he goes, if I play this Sash, they're not going to book me again because it's not that Sash exactly niche thing. So he actually loves the song, plays it everywhere else, and he can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's like, that's a rep I have there.
He'd be corrupting himself in a way by playing something that isn't his niche.
Yeah, and that's the first time I saw how important that was to someone. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
Where he was like, no, I can't even. No.
Yeah. Is he like a role model for you or?
Yeah, for sure. Like him and a couple other guys. Like a lot of my influence is from Berlin.
Okay.
A lot of it.
Cool.
It sounds like just like a normal DJ thing to say, oh, Berlin. But damn, they know what's up.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even, like, they know what's up.
Yeah.
End of story. Boris Brechka and then there's even people from like America shaping where music's going to go and no one knows.
Yeah.
But that's where my muso guitar side comes in because I find this niche stuff so cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I find it so, for me, it's the coolest thing ever.
So
like this guy, Nicky Nair, He is like, I'll send him to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
But he is shaping the future of all electronic music.
Yeah, wow.
Like, you listen to the guy's thing, and if you produce and you listen to it, you couldn't even understand. I don't even know how he does it.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Like, the fact that there's still people coming, and he's older too, and like, he's making things, and it's just, as a muso, I hear that and I hear another song. I don't care who likes this song. That is insane.
Yeah. So you could look at it from like a producer perspective and
Oh my
objectively be like, that's amazing.
Yeah, like
Shit.
crazy stuff. And like, producers are at a stage now because there's so much. If they really knuckle into it, like, I feel like it gets to a stage where you're always listening to a song going, I don't know how they did it. I'm gonna have to find my own. Yeah, and then you figure it out, and then you go, oh, that's how he did it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a long ass process.
A lot of the learning and development is listening to other DJs and just being like, oh, this guy's a level up. How did he do this thing? Going back in the cave, figuring it out, coming out, trial and test.
Yeah, and I feel like certain moments on nights out and stuff sit with you differently.
Yeah.
So I've had some times where I go out there and I'm like walking out, I'm like, wow, like freaking out, like, holy shit, he was insane. And then I've got other times where I'm like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, that was super cool. And trying to figure out what made me feel that way, not the other way, that's what you can apply. Because you can tell.
Yeah.
You know, like any of us would be able to be like, I'm pretty sure I was dancing like that because of this. You know, so I'm going to remember that and see what I can do. And also I feel like a lot of producers, they'll listen to their favorite song and like they'll make their version of it to understand that genre. And then they can get creative with it.
Yeah.
So what's your breakdown when you go on a night out, hear something you really love? Are you like trying to hit that artist up and be like, yo, I'd love to work with you, or can I learn from you? Or are you just getting in and just feeling inspired by their music? Or are you like journaling and trying to take note of what it was? Or are you recording it?
I found recently that when I was inspired, I took the time to like get on my knees almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because I was so inspired, I'm like, I don't care about it being cool and sending this guy a cool message. I'm going to tell him that
I love your shit.
That was awesome. And I did that. Like, a guy, Andy Ivory, he was DJing for Conspiracy Crew at Abercrombie. And I just sent him a message because I was like, dude, I'm like sitting there and I've gone home and DJed for 6 hours because you made me realize this. Do you know what I mean? And I made 2 tracks and went home and DJed for 6 hours. And I was like, it was this whole new thing. And then I saw him somewhere and I went to go meet him and he came over and goes, Dom. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like, that whole thing happened and I was like, shit, that was so sick how that came around.
So raw.
And it made it so much cooler instead of me trying to be like this cool guy who's like not really trying to act cool in the club or something.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like that's
letting yourself be like a DJ nerd.
Well, that's what the DJ industry's losing, is my opinion.
Like the nerdiness.
Yeah, like you really got to get up there to get to the nerdiness.
Yeah.
Now you really got to get in there.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
And it's sick that you have that.
I'm hoping, I'm verging on there, you know?
Yeah.
Like I can't even say it because you just keep seeing people and just masters. Because it's such a universal thing.
Yeah.
And it's so subjective as well, because like you could think someone's good and another DJ thinks they're terrible.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
but I think you could probably all like appreciate and equally agree on the technical skills of it.
Yep.
Is that like a fair thing to say?
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So what's the financial side where you said in Australia the scene's quite hard? It's either you make no money or you make all the money.
Yep.
What, like, is there kind of a steady job and a steady income that you could obtain here?
I'm the wrong guy to ask because I still can't believe I get paid for it.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like I never remember to invoice places. And then they like send me a message like, hey bro, have you invoiced? I'm like, damn, like you guys really want to, like, it's just so nice. So that's, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm literally going there, all I cared about the whole night was my friends coming and making sure everyone's dancing. That's all I was worrying about. I wasn't thinking about that $150 I'm going to get.
You're there for the love of it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that are like that. Yeah. Like I even invited a bunch of friends once and they all just left. Like no one asked for the pay. They just DJ'd and they just did their thing. And they're like, nah, bro. And I was like, that's super cool.
Yeah. So the venues must love that.
They still pay us, but But I mean, if you book, I'll be honest with you, in Sydney, if you can book 4 1-hour gigs a week, they're usually about $100-$150 for like a normal DJ, not anything special.
Yeah.
Like, you can probably pay rent and get your groceries and, do you know what I mean?
And is that hard to get 4 gigs?
Yeah, consistent, like, because there's no consistency.
Yeah, because what are the, well, I assume it's just like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, are they the main?
Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and then you'll pick up like a Thursday, like the other day I DJed on a Wednesday because it was before Australia Day.
True.
Or like, do you know what I mean? But the consistency is hard, but then other people will say, oh, but I get booked so much in advance.
Yeah.
That's the only other one, is that you can book yourself out.
Yeah,
so
true.
so then it makes you realize it's actually all about organization.
Yeah,
then
it's
again,
actually viable. Yeah.
you've really, if you can lock it in, and you can text that guy, and lock it in, you can probably organize your cash flow, and actually do it. And that's why you see DJs going, thanks so much for the support, I'm full time now.
Yeah.
Like Elijah something, I'm pretty sure, just did a post like that. That's why I remembered.
Yeah.
And he just posted one being like, yeah, I'm going full time now and stuff.
So dope.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a huge step.
It's a massive step. Like, that's why it's such a big step, because you don't need the backup now.
Yeah.
You've locked it in, and
And you're fully committing. It's like, do you know Youngbloods?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Of course,
YouTuber.
Of course.
So
he's on the boat, right?
Yeah. So like I watched him a couple years ago, and he was saying, I think he put in like request for long service leave or annual leave or something, because he really wanted to give YouTube a shot. He was like doing decently well, but wanted to just give it a crack and see how he'd go. And I think they knocked his leave back, so he just quit. And he was like, all right, I'm just gonna send it for, like, I have to make it now. I've quit. And he sent it, and freaking look at him now. He's laughing.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of getting to a point, because we work 3 days a week to get money so we can just fund our lives and fund ourselves, and whilst we pursue this stuff.
Yep.
And I really like the idea of getting to a point where it's like, I haven't quite got that security and that safety blanket, but I have to take the leap now.
Never,
You have to, yeah.
you're never going to be safe enough. So I feel like there's always going to be an argument to
Because
like,
that's
do
the
what you're
difference
saying.
between being safe is the full commit.
Yeah, bro, that's it. And
It's
that's
that jump, yeah.
It's a commitment to more than just like, it's a commitment to like, I will risk my like needs, like, just to make this work.
Yeah.
Like, that is just like,
Yeah.
it's all the decisions that branch off that one decision that are what make that.
But it changes so much, because I wish I could remember who it was, because it'd be great to say, but I can't remember. But it was a very famous musician. You know what? It might have been Dave Grohl, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But he was doing a speech, and he was saying how that commit, how actually important it is to your music, even, not just to the money. Because what he was saying is like, he was living underneath a studio. Whoever this guy was, we'll remember it one day. Whoever this guy was, he was living under a studio, right? And he was producing for the people upstairs to pay, like, instead of rent. Anyways, shit like that. But he's at a place now, there's no income there. He's making no money. But what do you do if you've fully committed and you're making no money and you've already committed? You're going to go 100%, right? So how could you get any better at your profession if you're going to put in 2 years slaving away, no one's seeing it, not making money? Like, your shit's going to get good if you persevere.
Dude, there's no lessons in you putting in like 50% effort. Like, it's like, if you're putting in 50 just because you're hanging on to like, oh, I don't know whether I jump. It's like, then you're never going to reap the benefits of jumping.
No,
So it's
100%.
like-
And you can almost convince yourself that at that time you're putting in 100% of what your current circumstances are. But just reevaluate your circumstances and know that you could, like, really you're only 50% of what you could actually be doing. So constantly change your environment to make sure that you're really getting like every bit of toothpaste out of that tube.
Yeah.
I love that. Nice metaphor. That's awesome.
So exciting. It's so exciting because it's going to allow the people that want it to get it and the people that don't want it to not get it. Like there's not that weird gray area where someone's like, oh, I tried it for 30 years and it didn't work. It's like you tried it for a year and it didn't work and you went back to your like 9 to 5 or your safety comfort, whatever that is. And for the people that took the leap, it's like, bro, took it 30 years later, look at us go.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what's I don't know why you just reminded me of something was like, because I actually went on 2 music tours, right?
Oh yeah.
Went to one with school.
Yeah.
To Europe. We did all of Europe, and that was like, well, there was no.
Just like,
Don't ask. I'm so lucky. Like I'm so like.
Don't even,
Don't even ask. Like I'm joking, but like so lucky that happened.
Yeah.
And that I was into the music at the time. Like couldn't be more grateful. But we go there and we're going to like random places. Like back then I would have been like, where am I? Like Vienna.
Yeah.
At 15, like 14,
Yeah, yeah.
like whoa.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
what is, yeah. And my parents aren't there. Like this is definitely supposed to be a family trip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like going, yeah, but
Confused.
that was the first time I saw my music teacher. Her name was Miss Faye, and she was the choir teacher. And the jazz band was going over there and stuff. That's the only reason I could go, because I could play in the guitar ensemble in the jazz band.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, you had to sing in the choir. I don't sing, so I'm sitting there at the front, and we're singing this old ass song, this like old school song.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's probably written the same year as Ode to Joy.
Yeah.
Like it's something crazy.
Yeah.
And I just see my choir teacher getting into it. Like she's having like a dance.
Damn.
And I'm like, it made me smile. I couldn't stop smiling. Because she's like fully grooving.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Old as shit
Yeah.
song,
Yeah, I just couldn't. And this song isn't even like, I'm trying to figure out where the beat is.
Yeah.
Because there is no beat. Right? And, do you know what I mean? And I'm watching it, and I remember that was the first time I smiled so much, because I'm like, this is just like so happy.
Yeah.
And then you get a bit older when you start dancing. You know how you don't really see your mates dance?
Yeah.
Like I feel like when you're in high school, like it takes a good party to like see, like,
It's
and then you gradually see one more, and then you see the shy kids having a massive boogie,
Yeah.
like, you know. And then I feel like it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I feel like that was the coolest. It's just the coolest thing ever, being able to be happy watching people dance.
Oh man.
And being a DJ now, like, I love it. Like
It's
that's
beautiful.
the sickest part.
Yeah.
100%. It's so super cool.
Rewarding, man.
Yeah, because I was sitting back there while you were talking. I remembered that. And I'm like imagining you two dance as well. Like, and I'm having a smile. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the best.
Dude, one day that's gonna be it. It's gonna be on the decks. You'll just look down and just see us.
That's the only thing.
Because dancing's such an expression of self. And I think so many people are corrupted by the environment and will really just look around and dance how others dance.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's power in that, because then it creates like a really cool environment where everyone's sort of doing the same thing. But I think when you can just dance how your body wants to dance, that's when it's like, bro, this guy.
Yeah. He
He
loves
gets
it.
So weird you just said that. I'm not supposed to say this, but we're saying it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Me and like 4 or 5 other people are about to open this events company record label.
Fuck, dude, that's huge.
And it's actually all based around culture. I want it to be a heavy around culture. And the culture comes from like the history of dance.
Wow.
So it's weird that you said that. But the importance of self-expression through dance is so unbelievable. Like that we want to we're creating something now where our people that come, when they walk in the door, when they get the ticket for that, when they come to that, they know they're coming in here for full expression of body.
Dude.
Weird is better.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because
People do it already.
Yeah.
But like
And I'd almost-
my groups, we don't have anything.
Bro, I'd
go to
almost
that.
argue that the conformity is weird. Like when you pull it out from what, dude, why are we
Why would
why are
you
we
wanna
all
be the
conforming?
same?
Why are we all trying to be the same, and why are we all insecure and awkward? That's weird. Just everyone being
That's weird.
their own self.
Yeah.
That's
What it actually
that's
is,
normal.
it's actually so against, not to go deep into it, but it's actually so against evolution. Like we all try and conform, be the same thing. Then
It's
we're not going
against
to
the
evolve.
whole-
The whole idea is that we all specialize in
Yep.
different areas. Like, why would we all want to be the same?
No, 100%. And it's like everything in life is perspective. So,
Yeah.
so how can you, even on that path, not only is evolution going to be weird if we conform, but it's like, then conforming reminds me of like judginess almost,
Yes.
because it's everyone judging each other. And it almost just
so
brings it back
unhealthy.
around. How can you judge someone when everything's perspective? Like,
Yeah.
you know, believe nothing that you hear and half of what you see.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it just completely is a complete fake thing.
Yeah.
But people need to be shown. And that's why we want to make that, because I know so many people that just need that little.
Dude, that's beautiful.
To express themselves.
That's amazing that through the industry you're in, the like the realm that you exist in, you're truly trying to bring about like good positive change in the world. Not just not as simple as I want people to enjoy the art that I've created, the music I've created. I actually want them to come and like truly better themselves
Yeah.
by being more open with themselves, more
100%.
honest with
And
themselves.
and that's also realizing the difference. I was realizing the difference between like. So all these events in Sydney, you'd see a huge headliner, right? That's the attraction, hypothetically. And then there's hypothetically, that's the attraction. Where I feel like you guys have probably been to events before where you probably had the best night ever. You probably didn't even see the DJ. Or you don't even know who the hell that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to think. I'm like, what? Where's Sydney? Sydney wasn't doing headliners you can go to a headline event, I shit you not, every night at every nightclub at the moment.
Yeah.
Like everyone is doing one. So how interesting would it be again to have everyone on the same level with making a journey of music? Do you know what I mean? Just trying to get rid of the prejudice and the, not that it's so terrible.
Because
there's value in it, but there is such an automatic kind of judgment system. When you look at a headliner list, there's automatically, you go there and you're like, oh, the first few guys, they suck.
Yeah, and I'm not going until 12. Because
There's-
I know this thing, I'm not going until 12.
And it's like, dude, you don't know who that guy is. What if he's the best?
Dude, he could be the next headliner in 10 years.
They
Yeah,
are.
no idea.
They
Yeah, they
are.
are.
Like,
Yeah.
literally, that is. yeah.
They're the hungriest. It's always
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the wolf climbing the mountain is always hungrier than the wolf at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, 100%.
That's so sick that you guys are doing that. I'm sure you guys are, like you've spoken about, and obviously there's more in it, but immediately it's just, how do you actually create that?
Yeah.
How do you actually create?
How do you get people to convince? Because it's so immediate gratification.
like,
Come to
yeah.
the number one guy. Come to
Yeah.
the number one guy. For you to be like, there is no number one guy. We're going to create an event.
Do you guys just want to know?
Bro, yeah.
fuck it.
If you're happy to share, man.
So we're pretty much, my favorite parties have always been in a house.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Always.
Yeah,
Amen.
no doubt.
I've never seen an events company ever, like, I'm talking decorate. When I say decorate, I mean like refurbish.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have a dining table, right? Chairs for when everyone's resting and stuff. You know, when you just sit around at home when you're at a party.
Yeah.
Everyone sits at the table. You got to put some things on the table. You need a table, bro.
This is
Yeah.
genius.
Right? Lounge room, coffee tables. You know, not dangerous ones,
Yeah.
but usable ones.
Yeah.
Getting all of my friends that do clothing to fill out like a wardrobe with a plexiglass on it. You know what I mean? But it's their clothes.
Yeah.
That it's like their company, so we got them on display. But that's just like
Promotion, but it's a home vibe.
you know what I mean? My buddy's with framed art on the wall, but he's actually like a local artist, blah, blah, blah. And they all have to be lit up because it's in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, so now that artist has to go do something he's never done before. And if the key is, don't let money get to any of our heads, was like my key thing. I just don't want money to ruin it, because I just keep seeing the money ruin it.
Yeah.
Right? And then I keep seeing the fame ruin it. Right? So that's why the whole DJ thing, cool, we might have the sickest DJ in there. That's not why we're promoting it though. That's not,
The environment.
do you know what I mean? And then it's just building a culture around it so that people just know. You know what I mean? I don't care if there's only 50 people there. If they're quality 50,
And they're genuinely there, like dancing how they want to dance, moving how they want to move.
do you know what I mean? And then there's all of these other elements that we're bringing in, and it's not only is it for the photos, not only is it for its look, or not only is it for someone to be like, whose house is that at? And it's not a house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a house, and they're just like freaking out.
But it almost is, like the culture almost breeding is a home-like environment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you could actually go out to like a warehouse party, it'd feel super like warm and cozy. That would blow my mind.
I know. That'd be
I don't know
amazing.
if you can.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna try,
almost
but I don't know if you can.
Like,
Because I was actually stumped when you said, I'm like, how do you create this place where people are going to feel comfortable to move how they want to move? And did that make so much sense? Where do people feel the safest? In the homes, mostly. I mean, unless you...
Or home of a friend.
Yeah, it's like...
or it's something
And
like
coming
that.
back to where the
Yeah.
best parties had at houses. Like,
Yeah.
it seems so simple as you said it, but I just never would have put those two together to make like a commercial environment that is...
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And just like, and people like cool things. You know, that people just like
People
cool.
love cool shit.
They love cool shit. Like,
the
we're gonna
cool-
put the decks. We're gonna have a full dinner.
Oh, dude.
You know, just like if you want to grab a little thing
That's
or some
so
different
sick.
crackers, come. But the
That's
decks are on the kitchen table,
Yeah, dude. In the
and
kitchen.
they're right in the kitchen on the.
Because that's where dinner's being made.
Yeah.
Swear, we're cooking. Yeah,
That's
we're
it. You
cooking.
gotta run with shit like that. There's so
Yeah.
many jokes. on
But
that.
yeah, it's like, and we just want to have fun. Like, and there's the thing. The people I'm working with, the one thing I wanted to hear them say at one stage, "Oh yeah, I'll just pay for it. Like, I don't care."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That is so big,
That's huge.
so big. Yeah,
100%.
and they're on board
That's so sick.
because they understand the mission.
What does that look like in terms of rolling that out? Is that you guys sort of designing that, or
As in, what roles will we have?
no, like,
No, like just making it a reality.
making this happen?
No, I picked people for reasons.
Yeah.
They know why I picked them, right? It's not, I'm not picking them maliciously, but they know why I picked them. I got the guy, I got my buddy, because he has to do the finances, because he's a weapon,
Yeah.
and he wants to do that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And we need that.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
need different players.
So that's why we did all of that. But it's, here's the fake it till you make it part again. Do you know what I mean? An events company, all of these launch parties, you say, oh, launch party, blah, 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 this and that. Dude, they have no idea what the fuck's gonna go down.
Yeah.
They could, 20 people could rock up.
Yeah, dude, even like that's where we met at Sunsets. That was their first event. They had no idea how that was going to go down.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, if you don't care how it goes, if you care about the right things, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, dude.
I seriously don't think it matters. Like, I'll just tell you, the first ones we're doing, it's at the end of March. It's going to be upstairs at Harpoon Harry's.
Yeah.
So that's just the launch party. That's not where the lounge room and stuff will be. But that
Yeah.
soft launch, tell everyone what's going on. There'll be a few cool things. There's a couple of things. Let me leave one surprise for you.
Yeah.
Right? There's one cool surprise, which is like where the name comes from, and yeah, it's gonna be super interesting. But it's something that it's just time.
Yeah.
I think it's
that's
more
it.
time heavy and being legit than anything else.
Dude, riding the wave.
Yes, it's not about the money and the this and that, because you can work with a business. If I go to them, hey guys, like, I love your venue, I love what you guys do. I don't have 10 grand to pay for your Friday night, but can I try to get 250 people here?
Yeah.
And you guys can take care of the bar?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, okay, right. And then I'm like, oh, I'll pay the DJs and I'll get, do you know what I mean? Like, you can figure it out.
100%.
Figure
There's
it
no
out.
blueprint. It's like, just make it happen.
Just fit what Finn, like, you know, like that's what the boys were doing. Like, they were seriously.
They just had to make it work. Like they had a date that there was going to be X amount of people show up, and they had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Had to be done.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Like I've been, you have to just do it.
And your motives are so genuine and so pure. I think that's the thing that stands out for me is like you're not here talking about the money. You're not here saying, dude, no one's doing this. Like we're just gonna rake in from this. This is a sick idea. It's like, dude, I want people to come to a space where they feel comfortable to move how they want to move. I want to like kind of rid the world of this hierarchy of like who's the best, who's the worst. I just want everyone to be on this even plane. Like, dude, it's so beautiful.
And that's the thing, and it's driven from me going to places and seeing that can find like what we were talking about before, like everyone's sort of just like not really, you know, dancing because they're worrying about their outfit or they're worrying about what someone's gonna.
Yeah, their sweat patches under their arms, how they look.
I don't make fun of them, right? Because we've all done it. But you can almost feel bad.
Yeah.
How can I have found this party scene, this dance scene? Like, I'm sorry, but the techno scene, you go there, everyone's smiling. Everyone's just going around talking. Everyone's really enjoying their time, expressing themselves. They look super weird, right? And then I go to another place and I see people and I'm like, you poor things, like you don't even know that you can just go somewhere and be free.
Yeah, and you also don't know why you're here. You've just traveled an hour and you're just here.
You can literally go somewhere 200 meters down the road and just be completely free.
Yeah.
We end every pod with a challenge, so we want it to come from the guest, and basically the week that the pod's released, we will complete that challenge or attempt to. Generally, it's something related to what we've been speaking about, but it could be anything. So just like take your time and think of a challenge for us.
Challenge for you guys?
Yeah.
On any...
It could be anything, bro.
Yeah. Anything.
I have one for you as well. I just thought of one.
Please.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You're not ready?
Oh,
Okay. Can it be a physical challenge?
Yeah,
Bro,
bro,
yeah, go on.
anything.
Okay.
Literally anything.
I think in the scheme of it all this thinking and mind games and this and that, I've been finding one thing, something I've been doing recently, which has just, it sounds like an old person thing, it's just changed my life.
Sick.
I fully the other day got home and I just heard someone talking about yoga,
Oh, bro, sweet. Yeah.
right?
Great. Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I'm not even gonna search this up. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna do something. Like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, I need to have a shower first. I go in the shower, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like a waterfall. Like, this is the vibe I was going with. Turn off the lights. I went and sat my ass down on the shower, cross-legged, right? Full yoga, because this is the only yoga position I could think of.
Water's going.
Water going, head right under the water, because you can still breathe through your nose.
Yeah.
And silence and dark, and 10 seconds in, 10 seconds out, just through your nose. Dude, my senses in that,
Dang, dude.
my hearing and my smell and my touch, every time I went in and out and had no distraction, and then you come out, I was a zen, dude.
I love
I actually don't think I was thinking about, and that's the challenge, is to find your own way to not think about anything.
That's cool.
And that speaks to the artist in you of being creative and having your own form of self-expression. Not just being like, oh, what's yoga, Googling it, doing it, just figuring it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Find your own one, but get to nothing. Think of nothing, because I feel like the second where I was like literally thought of nothing, I actually felt so accomplished. Sounds so rote. Like I haven't even started this yoga train yet, but that one was cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
it
man.
is.
I like
Yeah.
that. Thank you for that.
No, thank
I
you.
love
Yeah,
that
that's-
challenge, bro.
I have a challenge for you. I don't know in what form and what this looks like, but I do think that the perfectionism loop is a dangerous place to be in. So I challenge you in some way, shape or form to release some kind of music, whether it's like 10-second clips on Instagram of like stuff you've made, or whether it's releasing full tracks on Spotify.
Yeah.
I challenge you to, for a week, release like 3 bits of music.
Next week there'll be one out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Promise. I'll do
That
it.
is so sick, man.
I'll have it. I'll put it. I already know which one. I'll just put it out.
Mad. Hell yeah.
Because I've been sitting there doing the perfectionist thing.
Yeah.
I'll just put it out.
You just mean it's all ready. to
Thank
post
you.
and you're
I need-
just shivering over it.
It's literally. It's just sitting there.
Dude.
So
makes
done.
sense, bro.
Done. Hell yeah.
I'll put it out and I'll say
listen to
thank
it,
you to
man.
guys for pushing me to put it out.
Yeah.
Sick, bro.
Bro, thank you for your time.
Thank you
Dom,
guys.
my
That was
man.
awesome, bro.
So
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
What a pleasure.
I could talk forever with you.
Yeah,
I know, that was
we can
super
just keep
fun. I
going,
had a great
dude.
time, boys.
Can you do this again? Can you do it again?
Yeah, 100%. This
Thank you,
is
brother.
so awesome.